Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Website InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Hey, we're going to talk timeshares right now. We've got Brian and Karen Holloway here, the owners of Lone Star Transfer. Their website, LoneStarTransfer.com, and they can take care of all of your needs for helping you get out of a timeshare. And today we're going to talk about contract assignments and the contracts that you sign with the timeshare companies, and in particular talk about how they transfer to your heirs, and really how you can be putting your heirs, your sons, your daughters, next of kin, in a really bad situation. And people do not think about this when they're signing into timeshares, and they don't think about this towards the end of their life, even though they may have enjoyed a timeshare for many years, and maybe it worked out well for them. But coming towards the end of your life, it can be a real problem. I know you guys have some examples. So, for example, you guys will tell the stories about this, but let's say you had a timeshare, you've enjoyed it for many, many years, and but you're kind of coming towards the end of your life, but you haven't dealt with this timeshare. And since these contracts, by and large, in many cases, are perpetual, and they assign to your heirs, you pass away, and your estate can actually get held up if this does not get transferred to one of the heirs or next of kin. Isn't that right?
Yeah, in a lot of cases we've seen that, hearing from different people. And, these adult children now grew up with these timeshares when their parents bought them a long time ago. And so they grow up with these timeshares thinking that it's a great thing, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, unfortunately, something happens to mom and dad, and they take these timeshares on for whatever reason it may be. Mm-hmm. And, and then they don't realize exactly what it was because mom and dad paid the bill all those years.
Right.
And so now they're stuck again with these maintenance fees and with no way out of them. They just didn't realize what they had.
Yeah, and they didn't realize what their parents, paid, and they just signed up for it. Maybe you're going through a traumatic time, settling an estate, with your folks, one or both of your folks, and you go ahead and sign it. And so, even if they enjoyed that timeshare for many years, and a lot of times people did, a lot of folks really enjoy their timeshares, and that's great for them. But when it's time to get out of it, that's when it becomes problematic. And to have an estate being held up in that case, folks, if you do have a timeshare and you're, starting to get into your later years in life, you need to think about, your sons and daughters and your next of kin and your estate, because that estate could be held up as far as being settled with one of these timeshares because somebody's got to sign on to it. So it might be a good time if Maybe you've used a timeshare and enjoyed it, but now you're not using it anymore. The kids are grown, and it's time to move on. Now is a good time to go ahead and get rid of it now before, moving in later into life. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's true. And I think what a lot of our adult children really enjoyed growing up was we were paying for that vacation. It's a little bit different ballgame when they have to pay for it. And so, they're finding there are different ways to travel. Years ago, when you wanted to go to a timeshare, it was very exclusive. Well, because of the internet and how everything has changed, pretty much our children know they can go online at any time and type in timeshare rentals. They can be at any one of these resorts with a snap of a finger, and it can even be less than what those maintenance fees are.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of what's going on right now, and I think our adult children would rather choose when they want to travel and pay less.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the cost of travel has gone down significantly. There's deals from a gazillion different websites. You can grab a package, and as long as you got a passport, you could be anywhere. You could take a last-minute deal, go internationally that weekend if you want to. So, the timeshares, you're right. There was this exclusivity, this certain cachet with it, for a time period. And maybe in some cases it still works for some people. But, when you're talking about a contract, you're talking about a product that is assigned on your death to next of kin, your heirs, your sons, your daughters, that's a pretty big deal. And if it can hold up your settling your estate, people just aren't understanding that. And so maybe one of the heirs does take it on, but then they think, okay, well, I'll take it on. We'll settle the estate, but then we'll get out of it. Yeah, well, that's a process right there. And that's when they need to talk to you guys and let you guys get them out of it.
Yeah, that's correct. We've sat with a lot of adult children that have taken these timeshares on, and we're happy to get them out of the financial obligations of it and transfer their name off of it. And it's just a lot of different situations. Just like you said a while ago, there's all-inclusive deals now. You can fly out right here out of one of these airports and go down into Mexico or all over the United States and have everything paid in one lump sum and not have to worry about next year. If you feel like going next year, go. If not, that's okay too. You put that money back in your pocket and you're buying your kids Christmas presents for the next year.
Yeah, exactly. The cost of travel is so much different than then. And, having the flexibility to go wherever you want to when you don't really have that type of flexibility with the timeshares, but, look, if you've evaluated a timeshare and it's good for you, your family, that's great. I'm not here to disparage that by any means.
That's right.
There's just so many people that need your help, that want to get out of their timeshares, didn't know it was going to be so difficult to get out, didn't know there really was almost no exit possible at all, except for the fact that, you guys have figured out a way to help people do this. And it's not an easy process. You guys tell them the truth, but you help them and you get them out of it. And, folks, trust me, if you're already used a timeshare for many years and you're saying, okay, we're pretty much done with that. The kids are grown, we're not using it anymore. You don't want to get into that situation where that gets assigned to your son or daughter. You don't want to put them into that financial debt, because what those maintenance fees are every single year. You're going to be binding your kids' hands behind their back with this type of debt. And so you want to take care of that, well in advance. Go to LoneStarTransfer.com, get more information. You can talk to Brian and Karen Holloway, the owners, and they can help you avoid this situation where your estate could get held up in the future and avoid a situation where your kids might, in a moment of weakness, take it on. Even take it on maybe even, prior to, let's say you get sick, you get sick and the kids take it on, prior to maybe you're passing on. And it's unfortunate we have to talk about these things, but they're a fact of life, but it can be even worse. What can be worse than saddling your kids with your debt? You never want to do that. And so you guys help people take care of that. Folks, LoneStarTransfer.com is the website. Their number, 972-722-3166. 972-722-3166. They can help you with all of your exit strategy needs because there's so many different timeshares, so many different types of contracts, but they're the experts on it. They will get you out of it. It won't be an easy process, but these guys are the real deal, and they'll help get you out of it. Folks, another great segment. Hey, we'll see you in a few.